Hello and welcome to the third game of the Infinity Week at Poznan Aronautica. This time we're playing Firefight against a fellow Varuna enjoyer, and the thing with Pano mirrors is that they are usually very quick, very short and very brutal. Because both of us want to accomplish the same goal, and this is basically shoot our opponents off the table, it's extremely easy to snowball in Pano mirrors, so don't really expect this game to last very long. So we're just getting into this list. We'll be playing the same list we played in round 2, which is the Squall list. And the reason for that is extremely simple. This list has attack, the other list doesn't, and we're obviously running into Kamau and at least some heralds, right? So we need a way to reliably get through the first obstacle, which is the Kamau. And well, the Kamau in active turn is advantageous. It's not that advantageous to really take the fights, and you never want to gamble a sniper fight versus sniper fight if both of your snipers are equal. Only if your sniper is better than the other guy's sniper, then it's fine, right? But this is not the case. We're playing mirror, so we need something that can, kill the Kamau. So running a Squall. Usually this is a cutter, but this time is the first time I was really happy that this is a Squall instead of a cutter, because the enemy sniper is a Kamau and the cutter would basically shoot the same way as the Squall, but the Squall has a grenade launcher, which is the one and only time it would be actually useful, right? But even without the grenade launcher, it's still the same shooty guy as the cutter for less points, which would be great. And again, we have the Montesa Knight for the duo, because this is something that's better than the cutter. This is the advantage of the Squall, which is the ability to duo. We have a Zulu Cobra to support our Squall, a Fusilier Hacker to possibly total control our Squall back, and a bunch of Fusiliers with obviously the Kamau sniper. Since we're already taking the Squalls, we'll be running a Machinist, and because we're running Machinist and we need something for him to do, we're running a Sierra. This is basically a difference between Squall and the cutter, is that you can afford a Sierra in the list. With the Squall it's not possible because, well, points, right? So this is basically this list. I would really want to have Echo Bravo from the other list in the Firefight, but it's much more important to have a Squall to prevent the game snowballing from losing the fight against the other Kamau. So my opponent is running something off meta from basically doing a list just the day before the tournament and trying some weird stuff. Again, similar fire team without a hacker, but the hacker is irrelevant pretty much. Uma instead of a Zulu Cobra Breaker, Echo Bravo with Fury that I like for the Firefight, and then he's also running the duo for the Squall and the Montesa, but he has multi-marksman rifle one. I talked to him about this and it's not exactly planned, it's more like the SWC run out faster than the points and he's trying out the Montesa Knight, so don't really think about it too much. There is not really some hidden strategy, some hidden game. This is basically a mistake. It should not be a marksman rifle Squall. Then we have a Harris of Group 2, which is the Kamau and 2 engineers. Cheap, affordable, and it's an HMG Harris. I used to run Kamau HMG back in quite a long time, like N3 probably, and like early N4, but I don't really feel like this is the way to go with Varuna. The HMG is good against some profiles, but against those profiles a sniper rifle would suffice, and against some profiles just HMG does not cut it, and it has zero potential for reactive turn, so I much rather would have either a rocket launcher or the sniper rifle. Then of course 2 Halos because that's all we can afford, and the Tech B because that's all we can afford. The Knight of Montesa surprisingly has a multi-rifle instead of being a paramedic. I don't understand this choice, I don't support it, but my opponent decided that this is the way to go just before the tournament. So, he wins the Lieutenant role and decides to go first, as I think you should, because this is a Firefight, 2, this is a Pano mirror, and again, like I said, the Pano mirrors tend to snowball extremely quickly, so the first one to strike usually gets the win, most likely, because you can get the attrition going and you can snowball the game in your favor. So, we're taking this side of the table. This is me deploying second, but I didn't really take a picture for my opponent deployment, apologies. But in short, we have the Kamau sniper here. This is extremely important because the enemy Kamau sniper starts here, right? And I don't want to take this fight at all, absolutely. This is something that under no circumstances I want the enemy Kamau to fight against my Kamau, because this is very easy to lose this fight, and yeah, start this snowball going. So the idea of this mirror, Pano versus mirror, Pano versus Pano, is that I absolutely don't want allow my opponent to start snowballing the game in his favor, because once it starts snowballing, it's extremely difficult to stop it. So I want to deny important fights and at the same time slow down my opponents. Luckily we have healers to slow down our opponents, which is here, here, and the last one is probably here or somewhere along this line. Then we have this blue cobra hidden here, and the Kamau, again very importantly, covers this line of approach and like super close, but denies this fight. I don't want this fight happening, and because there is the Montesa here, I really feel that the Squalo is telegraphed, so most likely it would be in this area, and I really want to avoid the fight against the Squalo either. My Squalo is located here, the best hidden position. He has like some line of fire there, and again I really expect Squalo to land here and they come out, and I want to refuse this fight at all, possibly at all times. 16 inches deployment means that this Fugazi can project the hacking area here, which could slow down a Squalo or provide some hacking areas, and then total reaction is located here, ready to fight the Kamau. So this is not exactly big brain play. I kinda hope that I might get lucky. I really expect to get some orders drained, but there was absolutely no other way to fit the Sierra and the engineer next to it. The other place I was thinking was this area, but this is inside of 16 inches and it would be completely worthless. So the Sierra decided to go here. So my opponent starts his turn, if I remember. Yeah. So this is the fire team basically of his. This is the Montesa I've been talking, that's telegraphed, and then the Kamau with the engineers is located in this area. So finally, the Squalo is, as I predicted, his reserve piece. It's not exactly next to Montesa. It was, I think, somewhere here, or like here, but not in duo. That's important. And multi-marks one rifle Squalo for that. So the Kamau starts his turn. Let's just go to the previous picture, it will be easier. The Kamau starts by moving this way, engages into the Sierra. It takes 2 orders, but it puts it unconscious. Then the Squalo moves here, touches the Pano play, tries to bait. I want to bait my helots, but I don't take the bait. Refuses to shoot me, goes like here, and I think that's it. Then the Kamau goes this way, gets spotlit along the process, tries to isolate the fight against the Hilot and discover it, but fails to do so, and then at this point it has to fight the Kamau. So first order, he splits best 3 ways. I shoot back, I land hit with a Kamau sniper because of a spotlight, I land hits with the Hilot, the Kamau tanks everything. Next order, shoots, kills this flash push bot, so those 2 Gronos are remote, are dead. But my Kamau wins the face-to-face rolls again and puts the Kamau down. So very good defense for me. And then this Hilot actually dies, which is, well, not a dice, it's revealed. Sorry, it's not dead. So this is dead, and the Kamau is dead. So this Hilot does not die, but it's revealed, and this opens up a way for the Echo Bravo to get into the board. I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot that the Firefight allows paratroopers to jump into, even though at the list building stage I took this into account. I just completely forgot, because if I didn't, I probably would not reveal this Hilot. But luck goes my way, and Echo Bravo starts entering here, takes the fight against my Fusilier Lieutenant, but the Fusilier Lieutenant is absolutely a boss and wins the face-to-face rolls and puts the Echo Bravo unconscious, which shuts down the attempt at my Lieutenant. Very lucky. And I'm ready to go into my turn. So my turn starts really quickly. Squalo moves this way to get inside of 24, give or take. And I think about taking a fight against the Kamau, but then I remember that I took a grenade launcher and it's now probably the best time to use it. And I spec fire the grenades on top of a Fusilier and a Kamau. It takes me 5 orders, but I put the Kamau unconscious, I put the paramedic unconscious, well, not the paramedic, the Fusilier unconscious. And I'm like, wow, it actually worked. That's nice. That's actually very nice. And I revive the Sierra with the engineer. And then finally this Kamau peeks out, takes the fight against this Squalo, puts it unconscious, but I fail to finish it off. Squalo fails to finish it off. And that basically concludes my turn. Then it's up to me, my opponent. And my opponent first tries to heal the paramedic, uses the paramedic, tries to heal the Kamau, but unfortunately fails the FH roll and the Kamau is dead. Then the Montesa starts running this way. She takes the fight against the Squalos, puts one wound onto the Squalos but dies to the total reaction bot. And then finally the Uma is going this way, peeks out, shoots at the Squalo, puts the Squalo unconscious, right? So the Squalo's unconscious, the Montesa is dead, and then this Uma gets absolutely obliterated by the either the healot or the total reaction. One of those basically obliterates the Uma. And yeah, and somewhere along the process, actually, this Kamau killed this guy. So at this point in time, my opponent has 2 Fusiliers less. The Montesa is dead. This guy is dead. Uma is dead. The Kamau HMG died here. Echo Bravo died here. And I didn't lose anything. I only lost the Fugazi and the Squalo is unconscious. But the Squalo is basically irrelevant at this point because there's nothing to do. And my opponent basically concludes this game, decides that this is a wash, concedes, and the game basically ends. So again, one turn, one of my turn, 2 turns of my opponent, and the game is done. But to talk about the game and generally Pan of Mirrors, you can see that this is a game where it snowballed extremely quickly in my favor, even though I was the second player. This Kamau dying, this Squalo dying. At this point, well, the Kamau, even if the Kamau was revived, again shoot it with a grenade launcher, probably still dead. I got the snowball rolling in my favor, because at turn 2 I would have more or less than my opponent, and this basically means that this is the end for the Pana Mirror. Again, some minor mistakes on the list building stage for my opponent. If the Squalo, instead of a multi-marksman rifle, had an HMG, would it really make that much of a difference? Probably, because it would not have to get closer to me and could play from the far behind, probably prolong the game further. But to be honest, this was lucky for the Echo Bravo to die, not gonna lie. And yeah, this basically was a really good shot from my opponent's side to kill my lieutenant. But this was like, you know, 4 10s versus 2 4 10s versus 2 13s. So not exactly, like, you know, not the most unlucky fight in the possible, but yes, this was lucky for me, and the Echo Bravo died. And from this point on, when there was like no way for my opponent to come back into the game, because I didn't let the ball drop, right? I could have taken the fight with the Skawala, I could have taken the fight with the Kamau and get unlucky, but I played it as safe as possible because I was ahead. And this is very important, what you always have to do when you're playing Infinity, especially Pan of Mirrors. If you're ahead, just play to not get behind, and you will win anyways. 9 out of 10. This is Pan Oceania. They have 0 means to catch up, right? There is no catch up mechanic, there is no Fide, there is no impersonator, there is no super jump, there is no asterisk that you can, there is no rabbit that you can pull out of your hat most of the time. So if you get ahead in Pan of Mirror, you just stay ahead and your opponent can never come back. So anyway, thanks for the game. This was game 3 out of 5. You have 2 more games coming, and those will be, well, a bit more eventful but more difficult, I promise you. But unfortunately, this is the life at the top. Have a good day. Bye.